Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.
In entertainment news, Alice Cooper with the Beastie Boys, Bon Jovi, and Neil Diamond were among the 15 acts nominated for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2011. Ballots will be sent to more than 500 voters from the music industry who will select the inductees. They will be announced in December, with the induction ceremony to be held on March 14, 2011 in New York City. Joe Parmesan, the president of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation, said in a statement, "We believe our nominating committee has put forth a list of artists that truly represent the wide variety of music that define rock and roll. To be eligible for nomination into the Hall, acts must have released their first single or album at least 25 years prior to the nomination year. The 2011 nominees had to release their first recording no later than 1985. In U.S. news, with more than 1,500 space shuttle workers facing layoffs, legislators say they will take a final shot at passing a blueprint for the U.S. human space program before adjourning ahead of the November 2nd congressional elections. With no time left to resolve conflicts between the rival House and Senate spending plans for NASA for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, the only option to break the gridlock is for the House to vote on the Senate bill. The U.S. human space program was thrown into turmoil when President Barack Obama, acting on advice from an outside advisory panel, decided to end the agency's follow-on moon program called Constellation and embark on a more flexible approach to deep space exploration. The plan, unveiled in February, also would make the government a customer rather than a provider for crew transportation services to the International Space Station. The proposal has divided legislators and the space community. The Senate plan reins in Obama's spending on commercial initiatives and directs NASA to begin work sooner on a heavy-lift rocket that would be needed for missions beyond the space station's orbit. Passage of the Senate bill would not avert layoffs scheduled for this week, but would authorize programs that will need workers. He said another 2,000 workers would eventually be hired by firms developing space taxis and other commercial space services for NASA. Under the proposal, the space station, a $100 billion project of 16 nations, is due to be finished in February with the arrival of a $2 billion particle detector known as the Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer. NASA has one shuttle mission before then, a cargo delivery flight scheduled to launch on November 1st. In international news, a man captured in Afghanistan has tipped off investigators to a potential Mumbai-style terror plot in Europe. Investigators believe al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden signed off on a European attack plan. The potential plot is one reason for a dramatic increase in the number of missile strikes by unmanned drones against terrorist targets in Pakistan. The number of suspected U.S. drone strikes in Pakistan jumped to 20 this month, more than in any previous month and twice the monthly average. A federal law enforcement officials in the United States said the volume seems to be turned up due to information coming out of England. The intelligence indicates there is interest in using people with Western passports in an attack. An official said the potential operatives may be a mix of Europeans and others, possibly including North Africans, Pakistanis, Turks, and Tajiks.
Nothing is sexier than a strong, toned body. And nothing builds great bodies better than a genuine Bowflex home gym. Because only Bowflex home gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a strong, sculpted body fast.
I was absolutely seeing results almost immediately.
I love the results that I've seen.
It's probably the best home gym workout I've ever seen.
Call for a free DVD that shows how to get the results you want faster than you ever thought possible.
You can't diet your way to a body like this, but in just 20 minutes, 3 times a week, you can be a stronger, sexier you.
Have one delivered for $0 down and pay as little as $10 a month. Call now for a free DVD that shares the Power Rod secret of building a strong, fit body.
I think women with muscles are beautiful.
Those are Bowflex guns, that's right.
To get a Bowflex body, get a genuine Bowflex Power Rod home gym. Get started. Call now.
In travel news, in the 1920s, when Berlin roared with decadence, the lush resort island of Hiddensee off the German Baltic coast drew fame as a kind of sun-drenched bohemian retreat, where artists escaped to draw inspiration from nature and dip their feet in the sea. Today, families and sock and sandal-clad retirees have replaced the bold young things who once inhabited the century-old vacation houses, sprinkled about the island. But Hiddensee still feels a world away from the contemporary urban life. Hiddensee, which is about 5 hours from Berlin by train and ferry, has become a kind of German Nantucket, a popular escape for city dwellers or anyone looking for a break from the distractions of the modern world. Though the island remains largely undiscovered by foreign tourists, yet for the slightly adventurous traveler willing to break open a German phrase book, Hiddensee offers the perfect 2 or 3 day trip from the unrelenting energy of Berlin. Known as the Pearl of the Baltic, Hiddensee was once home to a large artist colony, and its hilly northern landscapes, white sand beaches, and wildflowers still attract an array of painters, poets, and other artists whose locally inspired works appear in regular exhibitions throughout the island. And the vibe is distinctly mellow. Private cars are forbidden, so the only sounds of traffic are the heavy clomping of horses' hooves and the occasional screech from children bicycling wildly around the lovely marshes that are now part of a nature reserve encompassing most of the narrow 10-mile-long island. Visitors can travel among Hiddensee's 4 villages on slow horse-drawn covered wagons or on one bus that travels the island on weekdays. You're better off exploring the landscape on one of the comfortable Dutch bicycles that can be rented at shops scattered throughout the villages. By bike, it's easy to ride along the gentle dune heaths in the south and then up through the center of the narrow seahorse-shaped island to the dramatic cliffs on the northern coast, where an 18th century lighthouse offers a panoramic view of the sea, mainland Germany, and even Denmark. In tech news, a desktop black hole created in a lab in Italy has been shown to emit light, a discovery that could seal one of the biggest holes in theoretical physics and pave the way for physicist Stephen Hawking to win a Nobel Prize. The eerie glow is called Hawking radiation, and physicists have been hunting it for decades. In 1974, Stephen Hawking calculated that rather than gobbling up everything in their path and giving nothing back, black holes can radiate like the heating element in a toaster. But astrophysical black holes, the ultra-dense gobs of mass that lurk at the centers of galaxies and are left behind when stars collapse, radiate too dimly to be seen. So instead of looking at real black holes, a group of physicists from the University of Milan created a miniature analog by shooting short pulses of intense laser light into a chip of glass. The results will appear in Physical Review letters. In green news, it's more than just a hallucination. When you've had a drink too many, pink hippos are real. A very rare pink hippopotamus was spotted by nature photographers Will and Matt Burrard-Lucas during a visit to the Masai Mara in Kenya. Spotting the animal was lucky for at least 2 reasons. First, their guide had heard rumors about it, but didn't know where to find it. And second, animals that suffer this condition don't usually live very long. But you might be surprised to know that this is not albinism, but something else entirely. Rather than albino, the young hippo is actually leucritic. It has some pigmented spots, especially along its back and head, and has dark eyes, whereas albino animals have blue eyes. Usually, animals with these conditions don't survive, since they're easily spotted by predators. However, who messes with a hippo, even if it's pink? This one is young, but the photographers report that it is also quite shy, keeping close to its mother. And mother hippos are known for being extremely protective. This young hippo is safe for now. The Burrard-Lucas brothers state, being an animal that is so strikingly different often results in a hard life. These creatures frequently become outcast, rejected by their conventionally colored peers. In this case, however, we were relieved to note that the other hippos seem to be treating the pink hippo just like any other.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.